On a fateful Christmas Eve, the bustling Los Angeles International Airport becomes the stage for a deadly conspiracy. A ruthless mercenary known only as the Traveler has smuggled Novichok, the world's most lethal nerve agent, into the United States, hidden in a travel-sized suitcase designed to fit discreetly into the overhead bin of a passenger airplane. What starts as a typical holiday rush spirals into chaos as thousands of lives hang in the balance. Ethan Kopek, Taron Egerton, is a disillusioned TSA officer in his early 30s, working the security lines at LAX. Haunted by his failure to pass the police academy, due to concealing his late father's criminal past, Ethan has grown cynical and complacent. His girlfriend Nora, Sofia Carson, who manages airport operations, is pregnant with their first child and eager for Ethan to reignite his ambitions. She encourages him to reapply to the academy, hoping it will help him rediscover his sense of purpose. Meanwhile, the story's opening reveals two Russian operatives covertly transporting Novichok into the US. Their handoff to the Traveler, taking place in a shadowy alley, ends in betrayal. The Traveler, pragmatic and ruthless, uses the nerve agent to kill one operative while shooting the other, ensuring no witnesses remain. Burning their bodies to destroy evidence, he takes the suitcase and prepares for his next move. At the airport, Ethan requests a more challenging assignment, hoping to demonstrate his competence to his supervisor, Phil Sarkowski, Dean Norris. He's placed in charge of a baggage scanning lane, replacing his friend Jason, Sinqua Walls, at the last minute. Unbeknownst to Ethan, this seemingly routine shift will mark the beginning of his nightmare. The Traveler's accomplice, the Watcher, Theo Rossi, is parked in a van in the airport's lot, monitoring every security camera and hacking into communications. The Traveler contacts Ethan through an inconspicuous earbud slipped into his pocket, issuing a chilling ultimatum: allow a specific carry-on suitcase to pass through security, or Nora will be killed. To prove he means business, the Traveler sends a video feed showing one of his henchmen stalking Ethan's home, searching for Nora. Panicked but trying to maintain composure, Ethan scans the crowd. He notices a man at a nearby airport bar munching on snacks, the sound syncing with the Traveler's chewing on the other end of the line. Realizing he's being watched, Ethan tries to alert authorities but is thwarted at every turn by the Watcher's control over the cameras and communication systems. Detective Elena Cole, Danielle Deadwyler, investigating a double homicide linked to Novichok, uncovers critical intel. One of the dead smugglers had a bug implanted, which recorded his final hours. Reviewing the footage, Cole discovers that Novichok has entered the country and connects it to a larger plot targeting the airport. Back at LAX, Ethan secretly writes a message in invisible ink to his colleague Lionel, Curtis Cook, hoping for help. But before Lionel can act, the Traveler eliminates him using a fast-acting poison, aconitine, disguised in a coffee cup. Ethan witnesses Lionel's collapse and the Traveler walking away, sending a clear warning: failure is not an option. The stakes escalate when the Traveler forces Ethan to frame Jason for being drunk on the job, removing him from the baggage line and further isolating Ethan. When the marked suitcase finally arrives, Ethan notices the name Mateo Flores, Tenacia Elizaroros, on the boarding pass attached to it. Despite his best efforts to stall, he reluctantly lets the case through, knowing thousands of lives are at risk. The Traveler reveals that the suitcase contains a Novichok bomb set to detonate aboard a flight to Washington, D.C. The attack is designed to assassinate a congresswoman advocating against increased weapons funding, framing Russia and ensuring billions in new defense contracts. This revelation highlights the Traveler's connection to corrupt weapons manufacturers profiting from global chaos. As Ethan grapples with the enormity of the plot, Mateo, also coerced by the Traveler, stabs Sarkowski to escape detention. Ethan manages to chase Mateo into the airport's baggage handling section, where a tense showdown ends with Matteo's death when a plastic gun provided by the traveler overheats and explodes. Before dying, Matteo reveals critical information. The traveler's plan extends beyond the suitcase bomb, and his real target is still in motion. Meanwhile, Nora narrowly escapes an attempt on her life by the Watcher, who is ultimately killed by Matteo's husband, Jesse. Jesse informs Ethan that Matteo had a second plane ticket, revealing the traveler's intention to escape to DC. Detective Cole arrives at LAX and pieces together the plot, alerting Homeland Security. However, she quickly realizes that one of her assigned agents is an imposter working for the traveler. In a harrowing fight, she kills the accomplice and rushes to assist Ethan. The climactic confrontation takes place aboard the plane. Ethan discovers that the traveler has swapped the bomb into a larger suitcase stowed in the cargo hold. As the plane begins taxiing, Ethan infiltrates the hold to dismantle the bomb. The traveler follows, setting off a final deadly fight. Just as the traveler prepares to parachute out with the Novichok, Ethan traps him in an airtight refrigeration unit with the nerve agent, neutralizing the threat. The plane safely returns to LAX, and the plot is thwarted. Homeland Security apprehends several co-conspirators, but questions remain about the full extent of the traveler's network. A year later, Ethan, now unlapped officer, walks through a TSA checkpoint with Nora and their baby. Heading to Tahiti for a long overdue vacation, Ethan places his lapped badge in the tray, a symbol of his redemption and newfound purpose. Though the events of that Christmas Eve haunt him, Ethan has transformed from a disillusioned TSA officer into a hero who stood against impossible odds.